let the cat out. Who? Cookie?
The Garage Comedian.
It's a beautiful day for a joke. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Garage Comedian. I, of course, am the Garage Comedian. Oh, please stop. Those cheers are just overwhelming. They're just crashing on me like tidal waves. Yes, I know. It's not real. I'm not delusional. I'm just pretending like I made it to the big time. But you can put like LOLs or ha-ha-ha's in the comments if you want. That'll make me feel all warm and snuggly. So the other day, I had to pay an unexpected bill. It was awful. Being a homeowner can be good and bad, but when those big unexpected bills creep up, it gets me thinking back to yesteryear when I was living at home and how good I really had it. I never really thought about it at the time, and I remember my mother saying too, you know, someday you'll realize how good you had it right now. And I was thinking about that recently, and I recall actually the first time I moved out and I bought my first thing of laundry detergent, and I had to buy that spray stuff that you put on the bottom of a pan so your food doesn't burn, and aspirin, just all that stuff that I never really thought about when I was living at home. And then I found myself chasing down my friends when they came over to put a coaster underneath their beer before they put their beer down so there was no ring on the coffee table. I found myself yelling at them when they were coming in the house in December, "Who was the last one in? I'm not heating the whole neighborhood. You didn't shut the door." Yeah, it was just a new experience. It was like what was it? A whole new world. Exactly, Aladdin. A whole new world indeed. I even went out looking for my own tax lady, and I wasn't sure who was in my area, so I went to Google, like anyone does, and I started typing in TAX, and as you know, Google tries to finish your words for you, so taxidermy popped up there. And I had never heard that term before. I just thought, oh, this must be a fancy name for a tax professional. So I called the number, and I asked them, hey, what's your rate? And they said, well, it varies depending on the amount of work that we have to do. And I said, okay, well, what's the average turnaround time? Well, generally about 1 to 2 weeks based upon, you know, how many we're working on at one time. I thought, okay, well, that certainly makes sense. So then the person asked me what kind of animal I had, and I thought they were just making small talk, and I said, oh, I have a cat. And they said, oh, is it a short hair or a long hair? I said, it's a long hair. They said, oh, perfect, those are the best. And I said, well, thank you, I think they're the best too. He said, have you ever gone to a taxidermy before? I said, yeah, every April. He said, oh, well, what are you, a hunter? I said, well, I guess you can say that. I'm always hunting for the best deals. He said, well, how did you find us? I said, my friend, Mr. Google. He said, oh, okay, well, why don't you and your cat come by tomorrow at 2 p.m.? I was like, okay. So I hung up the phone and was like, wow, what a pet-friendly business. I can't wait to get there tomorrow. This is going to be great. So I get there and I open up the door. I felt like Dalton from Roadhouse.
I see you found my trophy room, Dalton. The only thing that's missing is your ass.
So I'm looking all around at bears and deers and ducks and exotic birds, raccoons. I was a little overwhelmed, to be honest, and imagine the horrified look on their eyes as they saw me strolling in with Mr. Whiskers, a live cat. I think they began having their doubts about me, and I certainly began wondering if this was truly a pet-friendly establishment. Just then, the owner caught my eye from a distance and yelled out to me, hey, we don't kill them and stuff them. I said, oh, I wasn't judging. I didn't think you murdered all these animals. He was looking at me like, what the hell? And I was looking at him like, what the hell? And Mr. Whiskers was looking up at me like, I don't want to be an ornament, Daddy. So I took my W-2, my 1099 miscellaneous, my cat, and I got the hell out of there. I later found out what a taxidermy actually does, which all of you probably know, which is just to preserve an animal by mounting or stuffing. But that's kind of an odd name for that profession, don't you think? A taxidermy? I just had to look up what that actually meant, and the name taxidermy is derived from two Greek words, taxis and derma, which means the arrangement of skin. And if that's the case, I know a few celebrities who have gone to a taxidermy. There are other names that don't make sense to me either, like a flying squirrel. I was out back the other day with my daughter, and we saw a squirrel move from a very large tree down to a smaller tree, and it jumped over there, and my daughter said, oh, look, Daddy, a flying squirrel. I said, no, that's actually a gliding squirrel, or as Woody would say,
that was falling with style.
But I thought they were called flying squirrels, she said. I said, oh, they are. But you just told me that they don't fly. Oh, they don't. It's the same thing as a bald eagle, I told her. Bald eagles aren't truly bald. They have white feathers on the top of their head. I do wonder where these unrepresentative names came from. Were all of our founding fathers nearsighted? Hey, is that a squirrel? Look at that. He's flying through the air. You see it? Oh, I believe so. Damn hell, that looks like a flying squirrel. Okay, let's put that one down. Did you know that squirrels and snakes sometimes get into a little bit of a tango? Those two fight. Sometimes the snake wins, sometimes the squirrel wins. My son came back from a bike ride recently and said, "Hey, Dad, I saw a snake shed." I said, "How could you tell it was a snake shed? Was there like a Cobra Kai logo on the outside of it? Or could you hear He said, "No, it was in the street. I saw it shed its skin in the street." Oh, shed, like, right. Daddy's not as quick on the mental drawer as he used to be. The last snake I saw in the street ended up being roadkill. That would actually be an interesting concept for a restaurant, wouldn't it? The Roadkill Cafe. You kill it, we grill it. Yeah. Maybe they can be in competition with another great restaurant, Food Poisoning. Hey, Dave, what are you doing after you leave Food Poisoning? Probably going home and sitting on the toilet for a couple of hours. I'll see you tomorrow. And now it's time for...
I can't believe he said that.
If I was a hungry vampire, I wouldn't go to the Roadkill Cafe or Food Poisoning. No, I would target menstruating women.
I can't believe he said that.
By the way, am I the only one that treats a snack station at a car dealership when you're waiting for your oil change to be completed like their own personal supermarket sweep? Even in the middle of the summer, I wear a big bulky jacket. But the yogurt on this side, the bagel over here, the donuts tucked up there. Oh, speaking of donuts, you won't believe what happened to me this morning. I came out to the garage and there was my son, airborne, with a glazed donut in his hand, slamming it home. I looked at him and said, "What are you doing? That's wasteful." He said, "You told me I should try dunking a donut. Besides, I've already had 4. I'm stuffed like an animal." Don't even get me started on stuffed animals. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more funny videos like this, click the subscribe button. New episodes launch each Monday. The more you know.